We're looking at equations and slopes of horizontal and vertical lines right now. So first we're going to look at a horizontal line. Now, if I said, write me an equation of a horizontal line that passes through this point. Well, what's unique about horizontal lines, we're going to find out here, if we were to graph this one, here's my xy axis, y and x. Negative 3, 6 would be somewhere here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere around here would be my point, okay? And if it's a horizontal line, that means it's going to go in this direction. And what we notice, this point here is negative 3, 6. This point over here might be, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. This would be positive 3, 6. This one here would be positive 5, 6. What we notice is all of my values for y are all exactly the same. They're all 6. So the way that we would write this one, the equation of this line would be y equals 6. And it's always going to be whatever one constantly repeats. So what I recommend doing is just graphing this one, finding the point that continues to repeat, and then it's y equals that. In this case, it's all my y's that repeat, so it's y equals this. Now for the slope, now you can plug in 2 of these points, calculate them, and find your slope, and that would work as well. But what you'd find out is that you have 0 over some number. So your slope on this particular one is 0. So horizontal lines always have a 0 slope. The way I try to remember that is I think of horizontal lines, that z, horizontal lines have a 0 slope. So horizontal lines have a 0 slope. We graph a couple of them. A horizontal line is always y equals some number. In this case it's 6 because that's where the 6 was at. Now then, if we wanted to look at another one here, if we looked at the number negative 2, negative 5, I know it's going to horizontal line is always y equals. Now what is my y equal in this case? It's negative 5. And my slope on this one, my slope is 0. Slope is always 0. On the test I'm going to ask you what is the equation of a horizontal line, and that's this one. And the slope on it would be 0. Now if we changed it and we said a vertical line this time, so instead of just looking at horizontal, we're going to look at vertical. And let's pick the point 7, negative 4. Okay, now if we were to graph this one, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be somewhere around here. Good point right about there. And this one says a vertical line. That means I'm going to have to draw this line going straight up and down right here. Okay, and I know that this point is 7, negative 4, excuse me. Well, this point up here, 1, 2, 3, might be 7, 3. This point right here would be 7, 0. And again, we see the pattern. We see a repeating number. All of these values here are x, and those are are 7. And those are all my x values. So my equation on this one is x equals 7. On the vertical line passing through that point, all of my x values are going to be 7. So x equals 7 would be my answer. Now, when we're trying to find the slope on this one, we would plug it in. You can pick 2 points and plug it in. Or you can just know that a vertical line has an undefined slope. Okay, so the slope on this one would be undefined. Again, you can plug this in, and when you plug it in, you find out that it's some number, I don't know what it is, 18, and it kind of depends on what point you pick. Oh, divided by 0. And remember, we can't divide by 0. So 18 divided by 0 just gives us our undefined. Our slope would be undefined on this one. Now let's look at one other one. Alright, if we take the point negative 3, 14. Okay, I know that a vertical line, all of my x values are going to be the same. So I know that my equation of my line is x equals negative 3. And then I also know that my slope on all vertical lines is undefined. So slope is undefined. Should be an in there. Undefined.